Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rival Sports Talk, episode 38. We are back with a new special edition of Rival. We had the NBA is well underway. All-Star games coming up. But let me start with this. Anthony Edwards, Minnesota Timberwolves, with the nasty one-handed slam. Give me your take.
Yeah, no, that was scary. I mean, I didn't think he was capable of that, to be honest, because I never seen him do something like that. But hey, I mean, it's the NBA, full of world-class athletes, and some athletes are just better than others. And it looked like Anthony Edwards' athleticism is going to get him a lot of money in this league. So that poor guy, though, he dunked on. I don't even know his name, but he might as well just retire.
Yeah, he's got to retire. One thing I did see from that, it was Portland Trailblazers. They tweeted after the game, wins over dunks. And I was like, that's a little petty. But at the same time, it's funny.
Yeah.
So with the NBA under full swing, we got a crazy wild card. Not wild card, I'm thinking baseball, man. MVP race. The top spot right now is Joel Embiid. Now, we're not even at the All-Star game. Does he continue? And speaking of Joel Embiid, the man dropped a 50-piece the other night.
He did.
He was on fire. Second 76er to drop 50. Can you name the other?
Allen Iverson. Dr. J? Okay. Iverson.
Allen Iverson. 2006, I believe.
Okay.
But Joel Embiid, we're not even at the All-Star game. Does he continue this pace of MVP caliber?
Embiid has had a past of injury past when it goes back to his days at Kansas and also in his career in the NBA so far. So, I mean, if he stays healthy, then yeah, no, he could definitely run away with this thing and win the MVP. But unfortunately, I mean, he's 7 feet tall. He's like a big tree out there. So, he might tweak a hamstring. Maybe mess up his knee somehow, some way. I mean, obviously, I hope not. But just based on his history, I think he might miss enough games to where he falls out of the MVP race.
Okay. So if he doesn't win, and personally, I don't think he will. I think he'll fall off after the All-Star game. Who do you have as MVP winner at the end of the year?
It could be LeBron, to be honest. I mean, he's been on fire. I mean, the way that he's been playing has just been out of this world. I mean, he's the greatest player of our generation, without a doubt. And then also, unfortunately, with Anthony Davis going down, that's going to help out LeBron's stats a little bit. So in the eyes of voters, they might look at LeBron averaging, instead of 26 points a game with AD, he might average like 29, which will get him, probably top 5 in the league. I think if Embiid stays healthy all the way through, he could definitely win it. LeBron, he's probably number 2. And then a Nikola Jokic as well. I mean, he's just getting better and better every day. And he's fantastic.
I think the Joker is actually ranked 5th right now.
Yeah.
It's Joel, LeBron, and actually Damian Lillard is ranked 3rd in MVP racing right now.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't surprise me. Dame Dollar.
Hey, it's Dame time, man.
It's Dame time, yes.
All-Star games coming up. I think it's 7th, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
There. I can look it up real quick. But the All-Star game is absolutely wild. Yeah, it's March 7th in Atlanta. They're not going to have all their regular festivities of 3 days, whatever, 3-point dunk, game, whatever. It's going to all be in the same day, which I think is kind of crazy, especially with COVID and everything, man. Still kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of irrelevant to have an All-Star game. There's so many
I agree.
that are not dude.
Yeah.
The skills challenge 3-point contest is going to be before the game. They're going to play the first half, and the dunk contest is at halftime. I'm waiting to see who's getting released to see who is in the dunk contest.
Oh, yeah, me too.
That'll be interesting. But there's so many outspoken players who are not wanting to do the All-Star game.
I don't blame them.
LeBron, and LeBron has the biggest voice in the NBA right now. So I don't know. We'll see it. It's Kevin Durant is a captain, and I think LeBron is a captain.
Yeah, I don't even know if KD going to play. I mean, he's been out with various injuries and COVID-related things. So,
right.
If I'm KD, I've been out with COVID for so long, and it's like, well, why would I risk, being a close contact again and missing my team with the Nets while I'm trying to establish chemistry with, the new teammate, James Harden. So, I don't know. I feel like KD, um, I hope he doesn't play just because I don't want to see him, miss, another week because of, someone, a close contact, getting COVID and him having to sit out because of the contact tracing. So it might be one of those things where, it tips off, KD immediately fouls, KD goes to the locker room and he's on a plane back to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So he gets his All-Star game bonus. He gets the, the experience of being there, at least for a little bit, and then I'm gonna head out as soon as it starts.
Yeah, I definitely see that. So Stephen A. Smith, we both know who that is.
Oh, I love that guy.
Very outspoken reporter, broadcaster. Who is the team to beat in the finals? If you had to take a finals guess right now, who would you have in it, and who wins?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with the Celtics and the Clippers. I know that Pandemic P has had his struggles since coronavirus broke out, but given the current timeline, possibly things will be starting to open up, and we could see Pandemic P go into Playoff P.
No.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, the Clippers, they play a lot of defense, and defense wins championships. But in the NBA, great offense does beat great defense. But they have so many great defensive players: Kawhi, Pat Beverly, Paul George. That's all I need to say right there.
Right.
I thought they were going to win it last year, but unfortunately, Paul George just went cold, and Doc Rivers decided to let him in, even though he wasn't doing anything. Or decided to leave him in, even though he just wasn't playing well. And then as for the Celtics, great coach, Brad Stevens. Kemba Walker might be the fastest player in the league right now. Jason Tatum, he's struggled a bit, and you had some strong feelings for him last year in the playoffs. But hey, he's going to use that as experience to bounce back. Marcus Smart is just a different type of animal out there on the defensive side. So, I'm excited to see the Celtics and Clippers in this year's finals. Don't sleep on the Jazz either. Jazz don't get much national love because they're not in New York or LA.
Jazz was nice. They just lost last night to the Clippers, snapping a 90-game win streak. But yeah, they are nice. I'm actually going to go on board with Stephen A. Smith on this one. I think the game that we saw, was it last night, the night before, will be a finals matchup, Lakers and Nets. I just think that's what New York versus LA. That's what everyone wants to see, and it's definitely a driven league to specific games.
Oh yeah. Can I say something real quick about Okay, so on my NBA 2K and on my video games, I have my own season with every team, and so I do things and I kind of make predictions on base what I think is going to happen in the future when it comes to player movement and how teams do. And I have honestly predicted a lot of things in those seasons. And last year, the finals in my season was the Lakers and Nets. So you might be onto something here.
I think you might be onto something, man.
Yeah, dude. I'll have to make a list of all the things that I've predicted that have been right. The drafts that I do before, it's crazy how many picks I've actually, Jerry Jeudy to the Broncos. I did that like 6 months before the actual draft.
Wild.
Yeah, I'll have to send that to you. It's actually pretty cool. I'm a prophet.
I wouldn't go that far with him, man.
Me neither.
Last night around, 3:30 Eastern time was the women single Australian Open. Naomi Osaka versus Jennifer Brady. Jennifer Brady just basically showed up and said, "I'm here."
She played a lot better than I thought.
She did, but I don't think anybody besides Jennifer or Brady fanboys, fangirls, or whatever.
Yeah.
Projected her to win. Naomi Osaka won a straight set, 6-4, 6-3, getting her 4th major title, and she only trails Serena Williams right now.
Yeah, no, she about to take that spot at number 1. She's great. She's You know, she's only 23. So I mean, it's crazy to think about all the accomplishments that she's already accomplished. She's fun to watch. I mean, I'm not, you know me, I'm not like a huge like tennis nerd. I'm like, oh my God, I have to watch every tennis match ever.
Right.
But, I like to appreciate greatness at all levels and respect it. And Naomi's the definition of greatness right now for the women's side. Watching Serena and Naomi play last week, it was kind of like Mahomes and Brady playing in the Super Bowl. So it was
Exactly.
kind of cool to see them too, and the mutual respect between the two. And tennis is an individual sport, so the respect is at a different level when it comes to that. When you play somebody and you beat them, but yeah, no, it was fun. She's great.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that she won or anything like that. One thing I think we talked about it last night after the match was that it's just so weird to have someone that lost just chilling there.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that's
Jennifer
so
Brady was
dumb.
just there, be like, "Yeah, I'm here, clap it up, I'm here."
Yeah,
And,
that
and then
sucks, dude.
I forgot who that reporter's name was, but he was like, "Jennifer Brady, it wasn't your night." I'm like, obviously, like
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Can you
saw that.
imagine like Jim Nance at like the Super Bowl trophy thing where like Mahomes is just like standing there, just like bored as ever, and he goes, "Patrick, it wasn't your night," and he's like, "Yeah, Jim, no expletive." um, so
He said
it's
expletive.
hey man, got to keep it PG for the
That's
kids.
right. That's right.
But yeah, no, and one thing, I have a question for you. Do you think players or teams, like, they go into like a game and they're like, "Oh, there's no way we're winning this thing. There is no way." I That's based on the human element of the game, because I know people are, especially athletes, are so competitive. But I wonder if like they're ever playing somebody and it's like, yeah, no, there's no chance. It's like the Michael Scott, it's over. We are screwed before it even
I
starts.
gotta
Like, do you
go
think that
on and put a
happens?
brave face on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Do you think
mean,
that happens?
I think as an individual sport, maybe. I don't know about like baseball and football and maybe even soccer, because
Yeah,
like anything can happen in a game.
right.
Like Yogi Berra, who is the infamous man, not an infamous, but just the infamous quotes of
Yeah,
like, it's not over till it's over. Like if there's a fork in the road, take it. Just like little itty bitty weird quotes. But I
right.
think the one that really sticks out on like team sports is it's not over till it's over. Like play till
Yeah,
the final whistle is one you hear in football. So like I understand where you're coming from, but in individual sport, I think you have to have that mentality of like I'm here for a reason. I beat everybody else.
yeah.
I have one more. I can do this. I'm
Exactly.
showing that I can do this. So I think on a team sport, maybe individual, no.
Yeah.
It's a mentality game.
With March Madness coming up, and the 16 seed, like Texas State University at Austin Tech Incorporated.com, brought to you by and they play
Brought to you
like
by
and they play
taxpayers.
yeah, and they play like Duke. Like, what does like the coach of that 16 seed even say before the game? I've always wondered that. Like, what is,
Um,
like, it's like, all right, boys, just go out here, have fun, let's make memories. Like, obviously, you're not gonna beat them. Like, do you? Like, how do you even
so
say that? I don't get it. Because
I
you can't like write plays because he doesn't have the athleticism. You just got to be like, all right, boys, let's go out here, let's just play pickup basketball. Let's see what happens. you
well,
know?
you have to think too. Virginia lost last year, and I forgot who they lost to.
Yeah, they lost a
That
few
was
years
like,
back to UMBC. Yeah,
yeah, that was like the first
that was
time in
fun.
like 700 some odd
Yeah,
around of 64 games. So like it's doable. But I think if I were a coach, I'd be like, well, don't unpack everything. We'll be out here pretty soon.
yeah.
But
Dude,
I
one
can
one of
see
the
it.
things we gotta this would actually be kind of fun before March Madness starts. Maybe we should look into having like a coach of like a 16 seed on and be like, yo, like, what are you gonna tell your players before y'all get your shit rock? Oops,
Oh,
get your
PG,
stuff.
right?
Yeah,
Pandemic P up in here.
yeah, get your stuff rocked by Gonzaga. What are you gonna say to your team, especially at halftime when it's like 50-19? You know?
And speaking of Gonzaga, and I know we're a little off topic here, but speaking of Gonzaga, man, I just can't understand how they continuously get number one seeds. They don't play anybody.
Yeah.
They have a weak conference. They don't play anybody big.
I mean, it is a weak conference. It's St. Mary's and Gonzaga that are always the top dogs. Actually, St. Mary's is like sixth in win percentage. It's like 2008. Isn't that crazy? I saw that stat on the game last night or a few nights ago.
2008. That was a good year for Kansas Jayhawks.
That was a good year for him.
Let's go.
But about Gonzaga. They do bring in a lot of recruits. I think it's because it's like kind of like the Clemson effect. It's out in the middle of nowhere. So you're getting the most determined players that just want to focus on basketball and bettering themselves as a athlete. That's kind of why UCLA and USC are kind of irrelevant now. They're right in Los Angeles, and obviously in Los Angeles, there's a lot of fun distractions. With Gonzaga being number one seed, I get what you're saying, just because their inability to perform in the playoff or the tournament. This year, man, I don't know. They're really good. They haven't lost, and they're beating the crap out of everybody. And Jalen Suggs, he's really improving his draft stock. I like him a lot.
Yeah. Spring training's right around the corner.
Yeah, game starting.
It'll be baseball, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Me too.
The one thing that jumped out at us the other day was the San Diego Padres signing Fernando Tatis Jr. to a 14-year, $340 million contract.
Yeah.
Is that
insane.
man worth it?
I mean, I think I don't want to say yes or no right now, just because I feel like they should have let him play out, a couple more years of his career before they, give him all that money. Because we've seen guys that get off to really hot starts in their career, win Rookie of the Year, like basketball, Michael Carter-Williams. And, it's weird, they're off to great starts in their young careers and then just fall off, So I would have liked to see them, just from a team standpoint, let Tatis play under that regular contract for a couple more years, and then if he's continuing to dominate like he has been doing, then sign him for a long-term deal. But I just want to know where San Diego getting all this money. Like, what?
Dude.
They're getting everybody.
Money, the projected opening day payroll for the San Diego Padres is $161 million. Yeah. Now, out of 30 teams, they're ranked 5th.
Yeah.
Who is 1 through 4? I want to know. It's probably the Dodgers, Yankees, and
Cubs.
Cubs, maybe, but they didn't really sign anybody this year.
Right.
They signed Jock Peterson because they got rid of Schwarber, who's in Washington now. But
he is out here. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's crazy to think that if you play 60 games, make the playoffs, and do somewhat good, we're gonna give you 14-year contract and $340 million. Don't mess it up for us. Like,
that's tough, man. I don't get it. But hey, honestly, the way that Tatis has been playing, our conversation right now is probably going to be irrelevant in like 10 years because, he's probably going to go out and have like 35 home runs, driving 102 RBIs and bat 324. Yeah. So, he might be, actually, I don't want to say it because I don't want to put too much pressure on the kid.
He listens to us, but
Yeah. Oh no, what's up, Fernando? How's it going?
Right.
But yeah, so they're getting everybody. There's a lot of expectations in San Diego this year. It reminds me a lot of 2015. Remember when they signed Kimbrel and Upton and Matt Kemp and all those guys? So hopefully it'll work out this time. But I just like Yu Darvish. That dude throws like 5 different fastballs.
See, yeah, they went out this year and said we're beating the Dodgers. That's basically what they said. They got out and boosted starting pitching.
Sorry, cut out there for a bit.
Yeah, I see that. A little off topic here. I had some technical difficulties, but no, San Diego Padres. They went out and got everybody this year just to beat the Dodgers. I definitely feel like they can match any starting five rotation.
Yeah.
Went out and got Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, and just boosted their entire team.
You got
I
Kirby
think
Yates out the bullpen, right?
Kirby Yates is still out in the bullpen. Yeah, and like I said, they got Mark Melancon from the Braves, who I think will be their closer.
Oh no, Kirby played for the Blue Jays now.
That's wild. I haven't seen.
Yeah, no, me neither. That's weird. That just happened because it's on because it's on Wikipedia. It says he played for he's still on the Padres, but it says Blue Jays. Here, I don't know. I'm gonna look into that because
So let me ask you this: before spring training starts, who is your sleeper team?
Sleeper team. That's a good question. Do the White Sox count as a sleeper team? I mean, I know they made the playoffs last year.
It can be a dark.
I don't know. I feel like that's not as bold. Give me the Toronto Blue Jays. They had some good moves in the offseason. They brought in George Springer. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to have another year of experience under his belt. That dude is very, very powerful, very good. He's also really good at third base too. I don't think people talk about much his defense much. He's kind of built like Bowser a little bit. So, but yeah, no. I think the Blue Jays definitely. The AL East is always tough because you got the Red Sox and Yankees up there just paying millions and billions and trillions of dollars for players, and you have the Tampa Bay Rays who are very good at growing talent and drafting and scouting. So I mean, we'll see. We might see the Blue Jays make some noise north of the border. Do we know how many teams are in the playoffs this year? Have they said that?
They
yet?
haven't announced anything.
Oh
yet.
My gosh, dude, that's so stupid. Because you go into, because you got to decide: are we going for the playoffs? Are we going for the World Series? Or are we gonna, trade our guys and we're gonna build for the future? Because I feel like there might be some teams caught in limbo right now because they don't know, because there's some good financial bonuses for making the playoffs too that the owners like to get, and the players too. So I mean, we'll see. It'd be weird though if they announce they're going back to the 10-team playoff as they should.
They should. They never should have started.
Oh yeah, if teams start pulling the plug and start trading guys.
Right. My sleeper team is actually might come to a surprise to you. Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
They went out and got some key pieces that they need. A first baseman, a solid one. I got some pitching too, didn't they?
Yeah, but a lot of their pitching is
and it's coming back.
Yeah. Second, yeah. No, they're in their second, third year. They're going to be able to
and right now, the number one thing is everyone's healthy.
Yeah,
everyone's healthy. I'm going to take the Kansas City Royals as my sleeper team. They traded for Andrew Benintendi. That'll really help them out in the outfield. Michael Taylor's going to play center. Merrifield's probably in the right. But like I said, they went out and got a first baseman with Carlos Santana. That gives Hunter Dozier a chance at third to where he normally is, where he got brought up with. That's what I'm going with as my sleeper this year. It'll be good. It'll be really good. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Australian Open, NBA, All-Star Game, MVP, baseball. It'll be very, very interesting. I'm excited.
Yeah,
guys,
me too.
If you have not yet, go like, subscribe, share to Rival Sports Talk on all things social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, you name it. We're there. If you want some merch, hit us up on Instagram at Rival Sports Talk and send us a DM, and we'll get you some merchandise going.
It go down in the DM. It go down.
We'll go down in the DM. Anyway, that's all the time we have. We appreciate you guys. Come back next time.
Later.